Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope everyone is doing well today. Shout out to all the subscribers and thank you to anybody new locked in as well. Gratitude to you. Let's talk about this Subriel Matias vs Parro fight, which is a little over 2 weeks away now. I just wanted to drop a video and check in and just see what the state of play is with these two guys. I'm so excited about this fight. And I've got a film study coming out probably on Saturday. I've been working really hard at that.
El primero que alza la mano, diga yo voy a pelear.
The first person to put their hand up and say that I want to fight you will be the person that I will face.
El orgullo de Maternillo.
There's a left hook, and down goes Subriel.
No más días. No más días es se va a quitar. Sabe, lo van a quitar.
Say, he knows that it will get him out of there. He'll be out there.
I'm not scared of no man, you know, breathes the same air, bleeds the same blood. You know, he's human, so.
Behind the scenes, that's, you know, kind of a preview slash film study with some music and stuff like that. That'll be out Saturday, and I've been talking about that a lot, so hopefully I'll get it done by Saturday, and then I'll do a full fight breakdown, and then I'm going to go live for the fight on the 15th. So it'd be great if you can join me. If you're not up to much, check out the live stream I'll be doing on June 15th. I'll be covering the whole fight. That's if I don't actually go to the island for the actual fight as well, because I talked about that just for a little break, but at the same time check out the fight. That'll be amazing. But let's talk about Parro for a minute and his training. There's been some footage that emerged. It's about a few weeks old now, the footage from, I think he must have been in Australia at that point, but he looks like he's really, look, this is what I love about, you know, fights like this where, you know, you have to take yourself to another level and you have to, you know, it looks like they're really stepping it up a little bit. He trains hard anyway. I've spoken about his physique and his back and just the stature and how physically strong he's getting without moving up in weight, and he's cutting the weight. Looks like he's doing it really well, which means he's a consummate professional, which means, you know, he's just a dedicated pro, and putting on the muscle and getting physically stronger and looking bigger and maintaining at 140. You know, obviously it looks like he's, I'd say, you know, power has gotten better, but he's, you know, like he knocked out his last couple of opponents in stunning fashion, really.
Beautiful left hand. Oh, he scorched him again. No, left uppercut. Watch out right here. And that's it.
But I think it's just his whole physical, his state looks good. And his countryman Tim Zhu as well is doing the same thing. I'm making a video about him, about how he's going to Thailand with his dad. And obviously Subriel Matias trains in Mexico, high altitude. These guys are like, this is going to be one hell of a fight, because they're, you know, they're just the two guys that are just like Jukembayev too. Really, that win from Matias, really, that is growing so well, because Jukembayev had another win recently. He's won 4 or 5 on the bounce now. He's with Bomac now as well, but you know, that was a tough fight. And that was a tough fight for Jukembayev. And, you know, it was a good fight for Matias, but I can see some similarities in that fight. But Parro is going to have to be a bit more smarter, all right, if he's going to, you know, have any chance of winning this fight. I'm going to do, like I said, a fight breakdown the week of on top of the film study. But the breakdown will just be more like this, but with some footage. But Subriel Matias' trainer, Panda, I really like watching interviews with him. He was on Mill City. Shout out to that channel, that guy, great channel. I love watching the interviews on there. And he was on there saying that, you know, they're going to probably try to box.
Parro's going to try to probably outbox him and try to test manhood with him, you know, the first rounds, and then he's going to figure out it's not the safest thing to do, but at that time, your body's broken down, your legs are wobbly, and your spirit is gone.
And that's what they absolutely should do, because when you're talking about taking away any advantages, if you're fighting Matias, you cannot fight him up close. Why? Because he's got a better chin than you, he's got a bigger heart than you, he's got more power than you. Let's be honest. I know Parro can crack. I know there's going to be some Australian fans that are going to say, well, you know, he's knocked out. He can punch a little bit, absolutely, but not with the same heavy-handed that Matias can get with those short shots where he just whips the cadence in.
There's a right to the body, a left hook upstairs by Matias. That caught Ugemba in. Subriel, Matias, and Matias with the combination there.
And just devastatingly heavy hands Matias has got, and they are just touch you like that, and he just moves guys, you know, hurts guys, and he'll just have the weirdest cadence, and it's quite hard to time. I've spoke about that in the punch, the scientific breakdown I did on the punches, where it's not your normal rhythm. It's not like ba 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 or ba ba. It's like he'll just chop them in there, and it just I've not seen it before, and I think it offsets fighters, and I think it makes it harder to time. But Parro, they've got to be smart. They've obviously got to be in the best shape ever. And I say that because in order to be smart and box and move and fight a perfect fight, you want to put yourself mentally in the best shape to be able to perform like that. And go into places, dark places in training camp is going to help them do that.
You're not going to phase me, you know what I mean? I've been through hell and back, and mentally, I mean, I've got the strongest mind in the world, and I can back that.
It's one of the reasons why I picked Usyk to beat Tyson Fury, because I just knew he wasn't possibly mentally strong enough, because he hadn't done the training in the last year. But Parro's been in shape, now he's going to take himself to a nice camp. He'll be ready to go. It's going to be a really good fight while it lasts. I don't see this fight going 12 rounds. And obviously Parro, actually I'll put up a clip where he looks like he can clinch a little bit. This is going to be in the film study as well. I'll show you a little clip now where he's wrestling with Brock Jarvis. And he's holding his own. Brock Jarvis is a strong guy. He can really crack as well. But, it's the technique a lot of the time when you're in the clinches. But like Parro's wrestling with him, and he looks like he's able to hold his balance and, fight a little bit in the clinches as well. And that's obviously what Matias is, an expert at, is fighting in the clinches. And, you don't really want to get there, because you're going to probably lose that battle. Let's be honest. Just Matias, I don't know where he's learned to do this. A lot of people that have reached out in the comments, and thank you to anybody that always comments or says some stuff, whether it just be commenting on the video or actually injecting some real knowledge, because I learned so much from you guys. I really do. And like people were saying, he's learned a lot probably from street fighting, because I was wondering if he was a wrestler, and it's like, nah, he's probably picked that up from street fighting. And that's kind of wild, really. It's kind of a awesome thing. Because he just grapples, he makes room for himself, right? I'll put out this clip on the Ponce fight where he's holding Ponce off with his wrist like this, and he's just shooting underneath.
The body, neutralizing Ponce as best he can, as Ponce continues to dig to the body with right hands. Ponce just missed with a right uppercut. Now,
not easy. While you're getting pushed back as well. These are the little tricks you have to do on either on the inside or clinching. It's like another different style of boxing. Not totally sure if Parro is going to be able to hang with him doing that. In fact, I don't think he will be able to. But as I said, Parro's plan, he's got a nice little tidy little style. He's got a nice double jab, backhand. That's his kind of favored combination, if you will. He kind of chops around that left hand, which he did against Brock Jarvis, and he caught Montana Love with a nice straight punch and uppercuts too. But he's got a variety of punches. He's a neat little boxer. He's a good fighter, Liam Parro. He's a good kid, comes in shape, and he's going to be prepared mentally. He's very strong as well.
I'll be stronger than anyone mentally. I believe I'm stronger than absolutely everyone mentally, and it proves in my fights. You're going to need a Mack truck to move me, man.
But is he as mentally strong and physically strong and powerful as Subriel Matias? I don't think so. Can he outbox Matias for a few rounds? Probably, but it's how long can you keep that up for? How much damage are you going to take when the fight does get close? Can you really keep Matias off you with just boxing and moving in, the enemy's territory. It's a tough ask, and you got to take your hat off to him for taking this fight, because that is a brutal ask. But you know, in terms of the little things that Parro can do as well, you know, the little bits of success that Dukembayev had with is turning Matias. If the fight does get close, to turn him. Dukembayev's coach at the time, Manny Robles, was asking him to do that, and he had some pockets of success.
Okay, combination, step and turn. You got it?
That's going to be in the film study. I probably shouldn't be letting too much out the bag, because I've got all these things I wanted to talk about, and half of them are coming out now. But you know, whatever, it is what it is. I like to bring stuff to the table, you know, like that might be part of it. If you've got something that you can add that Parro will be able to do, you know, enlighten me. You know, I'd love to hear from you guys, because at the end of the day, it's all about knowledge and sharing it, and that's real boxing fans want to just get excited about the possibilities, because that's what it's about. It's like, can he do this? Can they do this? What about this? Because, you know, there's something I want to talk about now, but I'm going to hold off, because it's something to do with the jab that I'm going to bring out in the film study and the fight breakdown, that I think there's a little entry point for Matias if he needs one. You know, not that, you know, he always needs one, but his jab is a very unorthodox, underrated. He's quite underrated, Matias, in terms of his skill set, I think. You know, he does a lot of cute things in there. His defense is getting so much better. Like his defensive responsibility, just purely keeping his hands up. You know, not recklessly walking guys down, you know, chasing them around the ring, which works. You know, that can create a level of anxiety in your opponent that is terrifying. You only have to look at their faces. You know, Malik Hawkins, I think that's his name, Hawkins, yeah. Just once you start backing up and once you start running from that, it's just like in I always bring, like, you know, real world, like, animals into it. Let's just say you facing a bear, right? The worst thing to do is to run, all right? Why? Because the bear's going to sense your fear, and it's going to just start chasing after you because there's no threat there. That's like that when you start backing off against Matias. And I'm not talking about boxing, you know, moving and jabbing and trying to hold your own. There's a difference. But when you start really feeling that fear and you start running off, that's when he starts dropping his hands and starts just having no respect for you. And that's because he senses the fear. You know, he did it a little bit against Dukembayev, but I don't think Dukembayev had the same level of fear, because he's a tough guy, but he tried to out-tough him a little bit, and that was a big mistake. But Hawkins was running for his life, and that was a game over from there, because Matias sensed so much fear in him. You can't show this guy fear, which is a crazy thing to say, really, because he's probably the most fearful guy, I think, one of, you know, he's just an animal. An animal. I swear he's not like a human being. I'm convinced he's just got just a spiritual, like, energy that is just something I've not seen before. I mean that. Like, this guy's on another level. Some of the stuff he's been through in life, and you know what he's had to deal with, is just like, boxing is just easy for him, and he's incredibly strong, gets himself prepared, and he's just an absolute warrior. And that's, you know, usually the difference in fights. And when you're fighting someone like that, and it does get in close combat, he's got a great chin, he's got a lot of power, he's got tight, crisp, sharp, hard shots that are going to catch you, and he's got heart. You know, all those things you're probably going to come off second best on. So you have to box, you have to use your jab, you have to be smart. You know, you don't really, like, it's suicide. Boxing's suicide to fight Subriel Matias close up, this Matias. Because I know Ananyan did in the first fight, but I spoke about, many of us know that Matias wasn't in the right frame of mind. Absolutely not. Smoking a lot of weed and stuff like that, and really in a dark place, you know. But look, that's it from me. I've been rambling a bit longer than I wanted to, you know, 12 minutes down. I hope I didn't go on for too long. I tried to put as much footage as I could, and just to let you know, guys, know where I am with this fight and this film study, and just to check in on everybody, and just to say thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. You know what I mean? I'm really excited about this fight, and as I said, the film study will be out on I want to say next weekend. I hope everyone's having a good Memorial Day weekend. It's Sunday today. I'll probably get this video out today or tomorrow. But, you know, whatever you do, I hope you have an awesome Memorial Day weekend. And thanks to anybody that's been emailing me, and thank you to anybody that's been enjoying that track. If you do like that track, I'm thinking about just putting it up for a download, just because I'm not doing it to make money off it. I want to it's a gift, you know. It's a gift to anybody that wants it, and if it brings people joy, it brings me joy, you know. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Peace and love. I'm out there.
Porque cuando tú estás seguro de lo que tú das y tú eres, no le temes a los riesgos. Porque cuando tú estás seguro
when you're sure of what you know that you have, the skill that you have, then you take the fight.
Porque cuando tú estás seguro de lo que tú das y tú eres, no le temes a los riesgos.
El orgullo de Maternillo, Subriel Matías.
Boxing.
On the edge.